Mic check, mic check. Okay, now we're good actually. All right, let me check audio. Oh, I don't have my phone audio on. Audio, check, check. Okay, audio should be loud enough. Okay, cool. All right, so what is up Twitch? What is up internet? Welcome to our continued effort. Yo, what the heck is that? All right, thanks for the follow. Viviano, what is up? Welcome. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate the follow. So I'm just gonna jump into the intros. Let's switch our cameras around. Mailman might be coming today, so. Hey, appreciate the offer, man. Appreciate you coming by. We'll check you later. You can hang out if you want, but if you got more promoting to do out in the internet world, I wish you all the best luck. Thank you. All right, so yesterday we ended up getting this completely build, and we had a pretty much 90% complete, done, ready to go, rock out with our socks out PC build. But we had this proprietary bullshit for Corsair, the older Corsair all-in-one liquid coolers. The newer ones, a lot of them also use a command module for some of their stuff, like their RGB or whatever. But it's like a new format, new connectors, everything, right? So this is the older ones. Command module, RGB module. The command module can do fans. It's got a fan controller, and it's got RGB controller on it. But it's also necessary your pump plugs into this as well, right? And then over here, this is just an RGB controller. So it's just if you get one of these, like I did, it was just so you have an extra one in case you need to, your wires don't reach to this one or whatever, you got too many fans, then that's what this is for. Another hookup. And then both of these end up going to your USB 2.0, and then you need some SATA power for these, right? But both of these failed. Both failed. This one can only do RGB, so even if it didn't fail, this doesn't help me, right? This is the main one I needed to work. It failed, okay? It might be something I can fix, but I don't want to risk it on this build for her build because it's going to be iffy. Oh, hey, bud. Hey, hi, come here. Come say hi to everybody. Come here. Come here. Camera's over here, bud. Hi. Hi. Here. Say hi. So I was taking a nap. So I was just explaining that because of that failure, and it's hard to find where I'm at, again, I'm kind of I'm out in the middle of nowhere basically. Because of that, I'm having trouble finding those command modules, even used ones. Like maybe on eBay or something I could find a used one, but then the shipping might take, multiple days or whatever. And then the price for it might be quite a bit. So, what's up, buddy? Sorry, just taking care of my son here. See if my esposa is free. Make sure he doesn't touch any electrical device in my office here. Gotta be careful in here, butter. Yeah, this one's got caffeine. Yeah, that's caffeine. You don't want that one, okay? Yeah, that's for when you train or something. You need a lot of energy. But that's not for little kids. Drink? This one has caffeine. Hey Murma, do you have a drink for buddy? Because he wants mine, but mine has caffeine. I don't want him to have that. Hi. So I ended up, for the price of having to replace one of those, and then what if there's something wrong with like the AIO pump, maybe something shorting out in it, or the LCD screen for that system, and it's shorting out those command modules. So I just did not want to go through all over again. Give me beso. Give me beso. Mwah. Are you? Are you? Say hi. He's, oh. All right, so Mia Sposa was free. Thank you to her for coming to get our son. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, my camera. I never know where I am. Here, I am here. So anyway, I went ahead and got a Arctic cooler, which wasn't actually much more than if I would have had to get, let's say I got both of these. The potential, if I found new ones, the potential this could be upwards of $40 new. Again, maybe used or clearance, I could find a better deal. But it's kind of hard when you're way out in the middle of nowhere. And then as far as this goes, I think these are probably 15 to 20, maybe 30, right? By the time you add that together, and then the futurability of these new ones or used ones burning out again, that was half the price or more of just getting this bad boy, because I'm an Arctic fanboy. Straight up, like it's like my favorite cooling company. Now if we're talking straight fans, maybe I lean towards like Noctua and Be Quiet for just straight up fans, right? But as far as coolers and liquid coolers, the Liquid Freezer line by Arctic, Liquid Freezer 2, the Liquid Freezer 3s, and the Liquid Freezer 3 Pros. Mwah, chef's kiss. I love these things. These are my absolute favorites, right? So basically just a little bit more than having to replace some of these peripherals of that other freaking AIO, and I get this. The beauty of the Arctic, and maybe other liquid coolers like Arctic, doesn't have a picture here, but the beauty of these versus this other setup here, like let's say I did the bare minimum setup on that one, right? I only used one of these modules instead of two, right? Every single fan would plug one for the fan header and one for the RGB. So let's go minimum 3 fans. So that's 3 fan hookups, 3 RGB hookups, and they're proprietary, by the way, which sucks. So you can't just plug it into any old 5-volt RGB. You'd have to get an adapter or one of these damn command modules, right? And then on the top here, you plug in the pump. The water block pump module has a hookup. Then you got to plug SATA power here. Then you got to plug this one into a USB 2 on your motherboard, right? But wait, there's more. Where's the fucking LCD screen? And then the LCD screen that goes onto your freaking fan also has a USB plug right here. And that's the plug to your motherboard independently of that other one. This is the part that plugs into that command module. And then you have to plug this to like maybe your CPU fan header or water pump AIO fan header on your motherboard. So all of that, all those fucking wires and hookups going everywhere, you got to manage those wires. It's more points of failure, you know. All that on this gets condensed, if you want, to one plug. One fan header plug runs all of this compared to that other shit, right? If you want. I'm going to do the 3-wire hookup. It's still a lot less than what I was doing. So by going down to the 3-wire, I only have to plug into CPU fan, AIO pump fan header, and a chassis fan header for the VRM fan. Done. Fuck, man. It's a thing of beauty. And then we also, another plus is we ended up, I was able to find this one in white. So one extra part of the puzzle is going to be white. So a much better, you know, balance of black, silver, and white colors in this build. And then just in case, we're going to do an unboxing on this tomorrow. So this is the Phantom Spirit 120 SE ARGB by Thermalright. This is like, depending on, I got it for 30 bucks, but depending on the timing, this can be between $30 and $50, right? Oh, my camera decided to freeze. Well, anyway, so Thermalright, it's still freezing. Oh, wait, I think we're pulling on the cable too much. Ooh, be careful. Let's turn some lights on. Help it focus better so it doesn't have to jump the focus around too much. Okay, there we go. Hopefully it balances itself out a little bit. Sometimes when it has to focus too many times, it starts overheating. So I'll try not to move too much, and we'll see if it cools down. I should actually just put a fan up there on it. That would probably take care of everything. But anyway, this will be unboxed tomorrow, unless something catastrophic happens today and we need to use this. But for 30 bucks, 7 heat pipes. Let's see, are these 120s or 140s? 2 120 fans. They're RGB. And then, you know, as long as, you know, you don't have any accident, it should have all the stuff in it. So, anyway, that'll be tomorrow. It doesn't look like it's taped sealed. Like, it just looks like that's how they do it. They don't tape it at all. So, it'll be interesting tomorrow to unbox this to see if it has all of the parts. Alright. So, I guess without further ado, camera okay? Hopefully camera stays good. We might be alright to keep going. Let me pull my wireless mouse over here. Hook it up. What in the world? It won't plug in? Oh, there we go. Okay. We're going to have to move this out of the way for now. A couple other things we're going to do today. We're going to update the BIOS on this. It doesn't need it. This is 12th gen. We're already well past the updates they've done for 12th gen. And there hasn't technically been any security style updates past the one that we have on this. It's mostly been updates for 13th and 14th gen stuff. There's actually some of the updates that I've already done to this included some of the 13th and 14th gen fixes as well. But we're going to go ahead and update this BIOS today. Because it will, you know, reset the settings and everything, and that will actually help us alleviate any problems that were left over from all of the issue we had with those modules, because they were fucking up like the USB stuff. The BIOS checks on the USB were all jacked up left and right. What is that? What is that? A Dooney. Thank you so much. Appreciate that follow. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate you hanging out with us. All right. Let's go ahead and prepare ourselves with everything we need for a healthy unboxing. We also, actually, let's do these first. So, well, I don't know. I was kind of wanting to do these when Vaughn shows up. Camera still okay? All right. Don't want to move too fast. Camera is freaking out today. If I bring up the table a little bit, that should help it. Might freeze a little bit more. Because right now it's also going to start doing the autofocus, which is the thing that overheats this one the most for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, a lot of glare. So I'm gonna show these to Vaughn when he comes in later. If he comes today, if he's able to make it. He was asking about, these are anti-sag brackets holders for your GPU. Just some random ones on Amazon, whatever. Okay. So this is the Liquid Freezer 3 Pro 360 ARGB in white. It comes in white or black. And then of course they have their ARGB ones and their non-ARGB plain as well. I don't know do they have white without RGB? I don't think so. Maybe they do. Here we go. So they have an online manual. So you scan that for that. Here's your cap. This has actually got an active VRM fan in it. Like a little bit of thread there. So this goes over top of the water block slash pump module. And it just holds on with magnets. And you can kind of see in there, there's a fan. And that blows air. When you orient this the way that they direct you to in their instructions, this will blow on the VRMs in the power stages of your CPU. So those, you know, that kind of upside down L shaped area of heat sinks on your motherboards, the air will be directed in that direction. If you mount it like upside down, like I have done on some builds, just to make it fit better with like SSD coolers and stuff. If you run into it not fitting with an SSD cooler, depending on the mounting solution that you choose, because there's two different ways to mount it on Intel, and depending on which one you choose, you might be able to put it upside down and then it will let your SSD clear. But if you do that, then the air is directed onto your top SSD cooler and a little bit of your RAM. So either way, this is a benefit to have, but in standard orientation, it is a VRM cooling. Whatever. Alright, so this is probably just brackets and accessories. Yeah, so mounting stuff. And then they have two different choices of wiring it up. You can go with one wire, where you just hook it up to one fan header on your motherboard, or you can split up your CPU fan readout, your VRM readout, and your pump readout to different headers on your motherboard. That's the one I'm going to use. Just in case the motherboard is funky and it doesn't want to split up, you know, the information. I just hopefully keep it from being stupid for me. Here's your the tubes and the pump head slash water block. And then supposedly they've designed it to have like an offset, you know, so when you mount it on your AMD or your Intel, it kind of has the correct offset or whatever. So I don't know. I haven't really done A to B testing myself, but plenty of people have, and it shows that it does help the offset versus just centered, depending on your CPU, of course. So you can look up those reviews. Those are pretty interesting, actually. Oh, and then this is real important. So if you're getting this for an Intel-based system, either 1700 or 1851, then it comes with a what do you call this? The mounting frame, right? So I have a bunch of Thermal Grizzly and Thermalright mounting frames, and also a couple other off-brands. Contact frames is what I guess a lot of people call them. I have a bunch myself already, but the cool thing about the Arctic one is if you use theirs, that's it. You just put this on your CPU, you know, follow instructions, be careful. Uh-oh, we got to freeze. I'm doing too many hand gestures. But anyway, you just put this only, following the directions, and then you can mount right there. The water block comes down and mounts on that. Done. Fucking done. So that is what we're going to use today. We're going to take the Thermal Grizzly one off, which is you know, a beautiful piece of aluminum, but at the same time we're going to make it easy on ourselves today. So let's put that over there. So that dude, I cannot fanboy out enough over Arctic, man. Also, another one of, you know, many companies are starting to do this, but another one of those companies that the fans are pre-installed. Oh, I love it. I love it. The only time I kind of get upset about pre-installed fans is sometimes, you know, the way I install it, I have to flip the fans so that the wires are on, you know, the back side. But it is pre-installed, and as long as you don't, you know, change from a standard install, if you just do the standard install, you're fine. It won't be a big deal. Okay. So this is freaking awesome. Another cool thing about the liquid freezer line is they use thick radiators, which, you know, depending on your testing and, you know, your use case and things like that, sometimes doesn't necessarily fully benefit you having a thicker one, because now you've just increased, you know, there's more distance that the air has to go through. But that's really if you're getting to like huge, like, I don't know, 50+ millimeter radiators, right? In that case, you're really wanting like push-pull setups, like, unless you're, you know, unless you're using some kind of industrial fans, right? But this is like 38, I believe, something like that. So that's not so much that it defeats the purpose of it being thicker. This will actually help cool it a little better without it being too much. And now, of course, one thing that you will want to check on that I didn't do, so we're going to check live today, is you want to check, is the thickness, because this is thicker than most standard radiators, is that going to be a problem for you in your case, right? Because it's thicker than normal. I think most are like 27, 28 millimeters. And then especially if you're going to do push-pull, like push-pull is probably not going to work on this one now, in this case. Maybe it will because it has an offset location for the AIO, but it will cause me even more problems if I do push-pull. So we're just going to do only push, make this the exhaust to the top, and just call it a day. But man, and it is beautiful in my opinion. Very nice. So just double check your cables, you know. It's been in warehouses and been shipped and thrown around all over the place. So just check them, make sure they're connected good, whatever. You know, see anything needs attention, or, you know, obviously if anything's damaged, you know, return that shit before you even install it. So I'm just looking around, see if anything's wrong, and it looks like everything's okay. So we can probably just go ahead and install it and hope that nothing else was wrong with that motherboard. If there is, 100% I'm feeling like those fucking command modules, those hubs, they shorted it out. 100% I'm blaming those things. Because those things jacked everything up yesterday. Go ahead and hydrate. Wait a minute, why are these paused? Oh. Where? Oh man, stay hydrated everyone. That off to the side, that off to the side. Again, hopefully I'll remember. If Vaughn shows up, we need to unbox these GPU Anti Sag brackets. Do like a little live demonstration of those. Okay, I'm gonna put this somewhere safe so we don't screw it up. And I gotta start remembering not to talk with my hands too much in front of this camera. So hopefully it will start cooling down and all the stuttering and freezing will take a back seat, take a break, man. Chill. Okay. So this case does give a good bit of room. So most likely will be okay, even though the case is thicker. Even if it's not perfect, most likely we'll have quite a few options in this case to alleviate any of that. So let's see. So we got to take the old bracket off and the old mounting plate off. Well, the contact frame. But first, the first thing I think we'll take off will be the, oops, why is this getting all bunched up? First thing we'll take off is that Corsair liquid cooler mounting frame. Let's see if this is the right. No, that's not it. I think they're finger tight. Let me check. Yep, they are. Okay. I gotta get me some fucking new headsets, dude. These things are like squeezing on my head like crazy, and it's like, you know, I've had them for a while, so I thought they would loosen up, but they're not. And I'm afraid to like try to work with them to loosen it up myself, because I'll end up fucking snapping it before I have a replacement. We'll see. Wait, what's my mouse doing? Why is it touching that? Okay, it's better. Okay, needle nose pliers for that corner. Why is this one stuck? What is going on here? There we go. That was weird. Oh, that hurts my shoulders, man. Ooh, baby. Let me switch my hat around. See if maybe the front of the hat can protect me from the squeeze of these headphones. Oh, my Rumble chat is acting up. Let me fix that. In case someone drops by, I don't want to miss the message here. Put you right there. Did I miss anything? Nope, we're good. All right, cool. There we go. Okay, so then that will kind of pop off. It's got some adhesive, so I'll have to pry it a little. Dude, really? Alright, fine. We'll take the whole thing out with the contact frame. That's fine. Ain't no problem, man. We will do that. And so, Arctic always being a bro. Like, for real. I love this company. They hook you up. Everything you need. So. Hold on, let me check something here. Hold on.
Imagine that.
What the frig, Swiss? Thank you for sneaking in here. You scared the living crap out of me. That's fine. Okay. Hopefully we don't drop any frames today. I think we're good. I don't know what's up with Rumble today. The chat thing is kind of freaking out. A lot of seems good today, huh? A lot of seems good. Alright, so as I was saying, like the bros that they are, the bros and sisters that they are at Arctic, they make sure that they give you what you need. So you need this to uninstall the one that's already there and to install the one that they're going to give you, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Now you want to be careful. Sometimes the CPU will stick to these frames, right? When you try to take the frame by itself out. So just be aware of that. I'm going to try to actually alleviate that, especially if you've had thermal paste on it before. Thermal paste will get in between the CPU itself, the edges, and the frame, and then it will kind of stick to it, you know. So welcome on in, Gaunt something, Gontho, welcome on in. Appreciate the offer. I'm good, buddy. I'm good. I'm doing good. There, and you heard it drop. That's the that's all of it. We need some of this to come back, but see, that's the back. But the sticky tape of this is attached to that, so we're gonna have to, I don't know, heat gun it maybe, or maybe just a blade or whatever. So I'm gonna try to do this. There you go. Because if at all possible, it's just safer to leave your CPU in the socket like that, right? While you're doing everything, it will protect the pins of the socket, you know? And if it's a CPU like AM4 CPUs or whatever that have pins on the CPU itself, it protects the pins of the CPU by it being in there, you know what I mean? So that's good. This is a beautiful contact frame, the newer ones by Thermal Grizzly, DeBauer's company. Very easy to install. Just, you know, use common sense, take your time, watch a video so you're comfortable and you understand that you don't want to over torque it, but also you don't want to just leave it in there just fucking loose flapping around either. So this one's very good, and you can tell it's very good aluminum that they use on this, whatever that is called, it being good aluminum. You know, there's different grades of things, and then the coating or the paint they use is good shit too. So, but the Thermalrights ones are good too, man. I've used those as well. I've used both. So it did its job. We may reuse those mounting screws. We'll see what the difference is on this one, you know. And we're gonna check the instructions to make sure we don't need to, you know, like fit it upside down or whatever, you know. Okay, let's get all our screws out here. And they give you some MX6. This is my favorite spreading paste. Come on. This Razer camera is such ass. Like, the thing that the impression I have about a lot of Razer products is 90+%, sometimes 99.9% of the hardware is really good. But without fail, every Razer product I've ever had, there is one thing somewhere in the hardware that is fucking crap that they just forgot. Like maybe, like this probably needs better heat sinks, because this camera overheats very easily. This one probably needs better lenses, because these lenses, I don't know if they fog up or if they just, you know, they get discoloration or something over the years. It doesn't matter if I turn it to 1080p. It always looks fuzzy, and it's the lenses on this one. So there's always something that they just, you know, half-ass. And then everything else about the damn thing is just super high quality, right? And then of course a lot of their software is buggy for these cameras. Camera software and drivers are really bad. So. All right, we gotta get this mount unattached from this. Let's see if I can just pry on it a little more, maybe. Dude. Okay, no, we're not gonna do that, because then it will end that. So I'm gonna use one of these. I don't want to try to do it up there because I'm afraid I'll cut myself on camera. So I'm gonna do it, most of this off camera, so hopefully I don't put this into the meat of my hand. There we go. So, there. Now this is loose. And we can have our back plate back. Whew. Jupiter, Jupiter. Might put some rubbing alcohol on that. See if we can clean that up a little bit. Here it is. And got one of these. Clean off the CPU. Mirko Gamer Krokop Filipovich. What is up, dude? What is up? Is it healthy time? Alright, homie. We will stretch, posture check, and hydrate. Just one moment. How's your day going, gamer? No what? Oh, did your keyboard freak out on you, Holmes? It's like typing random symbols. All right, so now we need a spatula. So we'll use something like this. Try to scrape this off. This is not important. You don't need to do this if you got some freaking glue on the back of one of these. Like, it doesn't matter, Jones. In fact, you know, maybe you have something else that you could kind of reuse the stickiness of it. Well, we should check this. As many as you are aware, a disaster occurred back in all New Mexico. It has painfully affected many citizens and caused anxiety. Many lives were lost. Wait, what? What is Valve releasing Half-Life 3? What is happening? What is happening? Why did you post that? What is happening, dude? Don't fucking tease me, dog. If you're teasing me, man, I'm gonna have to time you out, homie. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Let me see. You got me. What the fuck? It's from Black Mesa. Yeah, I have that. Yeah. That's like the higher quality updated graphics made by some fans or something. Yeah, I have that one. I've been waiting to play. I'm gonna play that one. I haven't played that one all the way through, so I'm gonna do that on stream. Definitely, man. You definitely got me, dude. Alright, so that means I definitely need to fucking stretch and hydrate, dude, cause that angered me, and it's never good to get angry and not stretch. So everybody, get out of your chairs, man. Stand up, posture check, you know, make sure you're standing good. You know, loosen yourself up, your neck, whatever, you know. Just kind of undo the tension. Make sure you're good to go, everybody. Gotta take care of your back, your shoulders, your neck, your knees. These are important things, guys. Very important. Muy importante. Oh, and Swiss, too. So what, I gotta double fucking hydrate? What the hell? You guys trying to drown me or something? Alright, so, again, I recommend you get yourself some stevia sweetened style sodas if you're into soda drinks. Right? Try to stay away from the sugars. Stay away from the sucralose and the aspartame. Try your best to stay away from those as much as possible, and this will help give you that kick. You know, like if you really love sodas, these will fill it for you. These are called Zevia, but there's probably other brands, and each brand might have their own kind of flavor. Just double check the ingredients that it is using stevia leaf and not sucralose, right? Because there's sugar-free sodas that use sucralose and aspartame and the sulfamin K. So these aren't necessarily like a health drink, but they're healthier for you. Oh, this emergency? Hell yeah, let's go, gamer. Hey, you should, that's an idea for you, man. You should do like a radio station style stream, but Half-Life themed. You know what I mean? And you can like just read or narrate or reenact some of the Half-Life stuff. Dude, that'd be badass, man. I might do some stuff like that every now and then on my channel. Alright. I don't think this is gonna come loose. And I don't know what I did. I used to have this stuff called Goo Gone. I used to have some. And that really takes this kind of stuff off. Really good. But I don't know. Actually don't know where the hell it is. So. It's coming off. It's just so fucking tedious when it doesn't come off easily with alcohol, with rubbing alcohol. Yeah, you like that? Cool. Cool, man. Put me in the credits as a special thank you. Special thanks to Jonesy Dude. You know? So I was actually going to do some of this tedious stuff pre-stream today. But I figure, screw it. But going forward, maybe I'll start doing that. Like if I have a build to do, instead of having streams that are like, you know, 7-8 hours, maybe I'll try to make the stream shorter by doing like some preparation first before I go live. So we'll see. We'll see. It may not always be where I do every single part of the build on stream. I might, you know, might just do the action stuff, you know, the fun stuff on stream. And then like this little bullshit taking off old parts or something, maybe I'll do that on my own, or BIOS updates. Unless I have a specific thing that I'm trying to show. And of course. Alright, it's finally coming off of there. We're good. Yeah, we're good, man. We will have a clean backplate here. Well, or whatever, mounting backplate, whatever the fuck this thing is called. And then before all of the info, because the alcohol is like fading out all the info. Before that happens, I'm gonna snap a shot of that tiny, tiny info at the bottom there. Okay. There it is. Clean. There's a little bit on the label, but if I fuck with that, then we will lose all of the info on that label, and you know, you never know. One day I might need the serial number or some shit. I don't fucking know. Alright, like I said, they do have like an online manual, so we're gonna try to go to that, because I want to check because sometimes depending on which, what the fuck, dude, why didn't it go? Okay, depending on which CPU socket you have, they might have us like mount it like one way or another, you know. Okay, Intel. Alright, so when you first get to this manual online, the rest of it you can kind of do on your own, but I'll just show you this. It's just going to ask you, well, it's not like you can see. Well, fuck. It's just going to ask you AMD or Intel, trust me, bro. So we obviously are dealing with Intel here, so that's what I chose. And it says you need a Phillips head screwdriver and a Torx screwdriver. They do include it, right? But you know, some people prefer to use it in an actual screwdriver. So if you got, you know, if you got like a bit, Torx bit, the T20 for your screwdriver, go ahead and get that ready to go. All right, so let's see. Packaging content, yeah, of course, you get all that. We got the contact frame. We got the shoulder screws. That's probably, I guess, that's these. Maybe these are what they recommend. So if they do, we will end up using those to mount it. That's fine. And then it wants you to choose which connector, right? So again, I don't know how much of this is going to come through. You can go with one from the pump, that 1 to 3 on your motherboard. So one pump. Well, it comes, you only have one to plug into your pump, right? Whatever. And then 3 to your motherboard, or 1 to your motherboard. I suspect a lot of people will probably just want to do the 1, and that's fine. That's totally legit. So it's like this. So you got this plugs to the pump / water block, and then this goes to the motherboard. But I'm gonna choose this one. So it goes to the pump, and then 3 to the motherboard, just because I want to, you know, have an easier time in the BIOS separating out all the RPMs of what each device is doing. The pump, the VRM fan, and the 3 radiator fans. And since this motherboard is kind of picky anyway, so hand gestures. Hand gestures, Jones. Just calm down. You're overheating the camera, Jones. Chill. All right. Because this motherboard is quite picky, especially after what it went through with those fucking Corsair Commander bullshit things. I'm definitely going to want to err on a easier. It's easier for it to decipher 3 different ones as 3 different devices than for one, and then it has potentially 3 different signals on it. I don't want to go with that. So we're gonna do this shit separately, okay? So it's actually telling me to plug that in now, but I don't want to do that yet because I need to protect this CPU. So I want to get to the contact frame part. So I'm gonna skip ahead. So it is recommending, and I've done this before. Get yourself some painter's tape, and just the thin kind. Otherwise, you might have to cut it more so it's not so thick. You don't want the big thick one, maybe. But just get you some painter's tape because it's generally pretty gentle and it doesn't let go of a lot of adhesive when you pull it off. And what you want this for when you're messing with contact frames or the socket mounting stuff and things like that is this back plate, especially if your motherboard's already in the case. This back plate can be a bitch to hold, like centered, right? And it falls and it wants to fucking, maybe twist, and it might hit one of the little fucking SMDs or resistors or something on the back. You don't want any of that, right? So you need gentle tape. You don't want Gorilla Glue tape or fucking duct tape or anything crazy. And you don't want to use even gentle tapes that might have some crazy adhesive. And the painter's tape, the adhesive isn't bad as long as you're taking it off within like 5 to 10 minutes. You know what I mean? If you're going to leave it over there overnight, then it might let go some of the adhesive onto your motherboard. But if you're just doing a short little, what we're going to do, it's no problem. So that's what they're recommending in the instructions, and that's cool. I do confirm that you want to do that. Imagine. So to do this, we're going to have to stand it up. So in that case, I'm going to remove the CPU because you don't want it falling. So just remember, when you take that contact frame off, whether it's the aftermarket or it's the one that came with your motherboard, this is just free floating in there. So don't forget that. It's easy to get going and like me, I'm just jabbering away and then forget that this shit is just free floating. And then if you stand this up, then boom, there goes your fucking CPU falling out, And who knows, it could damage itself or it could damage something on top of your GPU or whatever. But there's the CPU. I don't see any residue on the bottom. And then, oh, I forgot to get my nerd light ready to go. Cool, that looks, I love how CPUs look, man. Okay, and then when you have it out and about, and then you put it back, just air dust and kind of look that you don't have like hair or something crazy on this or your socket. So let me see, I had my CPU case, and that's why you should always keep that plastic. I just had it, where did I put it? Oh, here it is. You should always keep these. Alright, and this one might be an AMD one, so whatever. I got the Intel one over there as well, but always keep these. Even if you throw the box away, keep this because it's good to put your CPU in. if you need to work on your motherboard. There we go. Okay. And now your pins are exposed, so you do want to be careful. But we kind of got to stand this up so we can see where to put this thing. Just be very gentle if you're going to dust this on the back. You probably shouldn't. You probably should not even like worry about it at all. Like, don't be like me. But if you are, very gentle. And then let it air dry if you used alcohol or whatever, because then your painter's tape won't stick. Alright. Now with LGA 1700 Intels, just eyeball it and you'll see what I'm talking about, right? It has the hole spacing is different on the top two, between the top two holes and the bottom two holes, and so you wanna line this up appropriately with that, right? So like when I put it up here, if I were to put the wider holes to the top, the holes aren't gonna line up. It's mostly just rectangular, so it will, you know, look like it fits fine, and that works out, but then your holes aren't lined up for mounting, right? So that's not gonna work. So then you just need to line up the fact that the narrow holes are the top and the further away holes are on the bottom, right? So here we go. Let's get some painter's tape on this thing here. And make sure I don't have any shavings of metal that are gonna get transposed over to the motherboard. Like that. And then fuck it, I'm gonna put some like this too, because I don't want it freaking falling. Alright, as long as I didn't keep it too good. Then you got some way too much tape. Alright. And then I'll probably have to take this light, put it like this so I can see, because I have kind of bad eyesight in certain glare type conditions, so. So it doesn't have to be like fucking micro-millimeter perfect, but you kind of want it like good, because if it's not, then your fucking top screws that you're screwing down to hold the mounting mechanism and everything together, those are not going to fucking line up at all, and then you're going to have a shitty time. Alright, and then you want to fucking slam it down, because if this is old painter's tape with it, which it looks like it is, it's just going to fall off. Then we have to redo that. So let's try to be gentle. Not something Jones is known for. His gentleness and geniality is not what he is known for. Okay, and then don't slide it around because you peel the tape off perhaps. So if you need to move it, kind of pick it up a little. Okay, so there we go. Now you put your CPU. Camera good. Like I said, check your, make sure no hairs or anything are in there. And then you want to look for that little triangle and line it with the motherboard has just the most slight triangle, which is right here for this motherboard. Most motherboards will be the same, but there are some that maybe rotate the socket or whatever, so just keep that in mind. Also, there are some holes that will kind of help you, guide you to line it up. And if those don't line up, oh, triangle, see? If those don't line up, they will protect you. So the triangle that you're looking for is right here. It's so tiny that my camera probably won't focus on it, but it's such a tiny thing in the corner. And you'll be fine even if you like mistake at first. As long as you don't force anything, you're gonna be okay. And as long as you don't drop it, you'll be okay. So you just put it in there, line up the triangle with the motherboard, CPU triangle, motherboard triangle, and then the little kind of indentations, those are double checking you. Okay? Okay. So we have already removed our contact mounting / IHS frame. We have already done that. And we need to do ALGA 1700. Right? So for LGA 1700, says you need to align the CPU to the top edge of the cutout of the contact frame. There should be a gap highlighted in red below the CPU. So that's not gonna, it's not gonna perfectly focus, but you can see the red at the bottom means that's where you want a gap. So when you put the contact frame on that Arctic gives you, you make sure it aligns perfectly to the top of the CPU where Arctic has the lettering of their contact frame, like the naming of it. Alright. And then we just put that in there, like so. And you can see, no problem, there is a gap at the bottom, but the top is what we call flush, okay? So there you go. Kind of see it. The focus, not the greatest thing ever. And then another thing to double check is on the contact frame Arctic gives you, there is another triangle. It will be on that same side that the triangle is on the CPU and the motherboard. So that same corner. So that's how everything lines up. You should be good to go. And then the screws that we're going to use are those shoulder screws that I showed you earlier. So hopefully the camera doesn't freeze up on us. It's these. They're by themselves in the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 Pro cooler kits. These are by themselves, so makes it fairly easy to find, sort of. Okay. And then it's saying, warning, loosely engage all 4 screws by 2 turns before tightening them in cross pattern evenly to avoid damaging the CPU. So if you just think about it and use common sense, that makes, you know, that you can understand that. You don't want to like tighten any of the screws ahead of any others, because then it tilts, right? It tilts. And if one side is getting screwed in more, now those pins are getting pressed unevenly or, you know, out of sync with each other, right? So, and the cool thing about these is they have regular Phillips. So get yourself a magnetic screwdriver, and that will help you kind of, hopefully. And you don't want to just drop it in there like the screwdriver itself. It's heavy, because you'll push the tape loose on the back plate, whatever the proper name of that is. I'm calling it a back plate because I guess technically it is. There we go. It's almost there. You know what? Actually, I'm going to use don't get one that has, in my opinion, don't use one that has a strong magnet. Get you a screwdriver that's kind of a weak magnetic, so it's not. Yeah, there we go. Because it was pulling it away, so that's so it's leaning a little. I don't like that, so I'm going to loosen that one once I get this one in. There we go. Okay. Yeah, okay, so that worked a lot better with a weaker magnet, or maybe even you don't want one with a magnet at all. Probably don't need it in that situation. Alright, so I'm just going to double check that we have it pushed down all the way. And now that we have all of them contacting, right? Let me check with we'll check with the stronger magnet one. Alright. I'm going to go through each one of these because they want you to do 2 turns at a time. Right? Totally good advice. So while all 4 are making thread contact, I'm going to actually back out them one at a time. See, this one's loose now, right? Now this one, I can more closely, I'm going to reverse thread it. I don't think I can get that sound across to you, but reverse thread. Don't like keep loosening until you hear a click and you feel it drop. Yo, Kendra, what's up? Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. Thank you. When you hear that click and you feel it drop, that's the threads engaging. The screws, the screw threads, and the mounting brackets threads. Now you have threads. So now you start turning it just to tighten, and then that's 1. And that's 2. So we did 2 turns on that one. And you can see it is in there. Okay, so then we're going to go to the opposite corner. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to reverse thread it, loosen it until we hear it drop into the threads and we feel it. There it is. And then now we know now we're getting full turns into the threads. That's 2 turns right there. Okay, so now we'll do this one up here. And sorry, camera work. So loosen, and it already did it, but I'm gonna do it again. Let me see. I'm gonna pause the music. Maybe I could pick this up on the headset mic here. Maybe. Let me get off. Okay. You hear that? I am loosening it. When it does that click, the threads are engaging. So now I can turn. One turn. Two turns, right there. All right, so the last one, we'll do it again. See if it picks it up, in case it didn't last time. So this is the last one. Okay, we're going to loosen it. We're loosening it. You see, that's a prominent click. You'll feel it too on the screwdriver. Boom. Now we can do full turns. It says to do 2. There's 1. I'm keeping track with the label on my screwdriver. And there's 2. Alright. Alright, music back on. Let's go. White Bat Audio, let's go. Alright, so now we go back to the first one, and I'm just using the label. If they say, like for example, they're telling me to do 2 turns before typing them all in a cross pattern evenly to avoid damage, I'm going to continue the 2 turn methodology. Some might say you should only do 1 turn at a time. I don't know. You know what? Let's do 1 turn at a time. Let's take it nice and safe. So it doesn't say whether to bottom these out, or I'm gonna get feel for it. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. Look up Gamers Nexus or DeBauer videos that show you how to do these contact frames and how to tighten them and stuff like that, and then make up your own mind. For me, I'm just gonna get a feel for it and do 1 turn at a time. So I got the label right here on this side of the screwdriver, so I'm going to turn it 1 time and then cross. And this is overly cautious. Now the label is right here. I don't know if this camera is going to show it. But it's on this side. So I'm going to turn this one till it's 1 time. Okay? And I'm going to come up here. And I'm going to do this one 1 time. And then I'm going to go down here 1 time. Then we go back to this one 1 time. Then up here. And we're going to keep track where it feels like, okay, that's pretty tight, so now that's a half turn. Okay. So half turn is 180. So it's here. We want it over here for a half turn, that label. Boom, easy. Same here. Label's here. I want it to come over here. We get a full half turn. Well, not a full turn. We're getting a half turn. Okay. Now, back over to this one. We're going to see if we can get another half turn. If we can't get a half turn, we're going to keep track. We're going to try to either get a quarter or a half turn. Maybe now that they're getting tighter, let's just do a quarter turn on these, right? So here, label here. I want the label on this side now. Quarter turn, easy. Come over here. So, and your screwdriver has to have 4 sides for this to work easily with what I'm saying. I'm doing quarter turns, half turns, because if it's got 8 sides, then it's maybe you're kind of looking at the sides a little too much. it works out the same as far as a circle. It'll still work the same, right? From here, 90 degrees, that's a quarter turn. Here to here, that's 180 degrees, that's a half turn. Here, all the way around and back, that's 360 degrees, that's a full turn. So let's go quarter turn, if we can. Yeah, not bad. I think we're tight enough now. Let's get a quarter turn here. Quarter turn there. Let's do one here. It's here, we want it here. And I think for me that's fucking tight enough, dude. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go much more than that. Again, some of these you just gotta look at the instructions and see if they tell you. This one does not say, this one does not tell me directly that I can bottom it out, but it also doesn't say to over tighten. It doesn't say don't over tighten. But you know, that is kind of, that's kind of common sense with anything you don't want to over tighten, right? So I'm gonna err on the safe side. You can always tighten them more later, right? But if you over tighten and break something, you can't undo that break by loosening them. So I'd rather err on the safe side, because there are some that are the instructions say to just tighten it down till it bottoms out, right? And usually that's because they've cut it a certain way for it to be that way. So let's go ahead and lift this up. Now we can take the tape off. And another thing you can check, it's going to be hard for me to show with these cameras that I have, but the screws that we just turned, they're going to be sticking out on the other side a little bit, right? So you can tell if you did an even job, kind of. And be careful with this tape. Don't just snatch it off. Be gentle, in case it's holding onto a resistor or something. There we go. But anyway, you can kind of eyeball them, and you can see if they're sticking through all about the same length, then you know you did a pretty damn good even job. Another thing to look out for is this back plate. If it's bending or warping, you either did them unevenly or they're all over tightened, right? So that would be a bad sign, and that's kind of hard to show even with a good camera. But you would just kind of look at the side of it and just see if it's like curling up, like this plate here. If it's curling up, then yeah, you've went crazy. So again, you can always, you know, don't, as long as it's not loose. If it's loose, that's bad. You don't want it loose in there where it's just kind of like where you can wiggle it. But as long as it's firmly secure, you can always tighten more later. But it's actually not a thing where you can undo the damage you do when you over tighten. Like that's bad. And common sense, I know, but sometimes we're so excited about our PCs and building them that, you know, even though it's common sense and you know this day in and day out, you forget because you're just so jacked up, you're so excited, you're just ready to go. Let's do it. Anyway. Don't have open drinks next to your CPU and your motherboard. Anyway, or your PC hardware. All right. Another thing to look out for on the Arctic, and in general, you should always have this in mind with any project, is the water block or the pump head here. Does it fit, you know, in between your VRMs, your RAM, and the top, either your GPU or the top slot of an SSD cooler? Because some of these Arctics on certain motherboards you have to take off this cooler right here, right? Luckily, she's not using this top slot for an SSD. And if we have to remove this cooler, it's not a big deal. All right, so we have that ready. Now we'll probably go back and prepare the pick the wire that we want. So we pick this pump to 3 on the motherboard. So let me see. So it's just 3 wires. That is way less than what we were dealing with on the other setup. So no problem. That's fine. So that's what we're going to use. And then of course, you know, just the normal stuff where you want, wherever the pump is in your AIO, you want your pump to be not the highest point. And you know, it doesn't have to be the lowest point, but you know, sometimes that's actually a good thing too. To keep water bubbles, air bubbles out of it, right? So with this setup, the radiator's on the top, so we're good to go because the pump and the water block of the CPU area is going to be below the radiator, so we're totally fine. But if you're going to do like a front mount, well, I think we are, if it fits. How about that? If you're going to do a front mounted radiator setup, you got to make sure that the radiator is going to, you know, the part where the water is, either the inlet and outlet pipes, or if you flip it the other way, the top of the radiator has to be higher than the pump. And you still, every now and then, you might still get air in your pump. So I always get kind of scared when I do the front mounts. And never ever radiator on the bottom. Never. Just don't fucking do it. Okay. Gamers Nexus does a good job of that. They explain it better than me, so you can check out their video and have probably a better time understanding what the hell they're talking about than what I'm saying. Alright, so now installation. So they're saying to attach the water block first. I don't know about that, because I like to plan it out. I mean, don't get me wrong, you should plan it out first. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's plan this shit out first. Let's see how good or bad. So the way that they come packaged with the fans mounted, you can always take these off and like flip them to your preference, but keep in mind the cabling, the wires go into the tubing. They go into that one specific tube. So when you flip these around and you try a different orientation or whatever, that could change things, right? And maybe the length or whatever. So, but the way they have it set up for it to look good, your tubes are going to go to the front. Okay, so because of that, you have to see, will this reach my CPU, right? It should, but depending on your case. Sometimes you have to flip it the other way and put the tubes on that side, the exhaust side of your case, just because it won't reach. Or maybe you prefer how it looks that way. I don't know. So, let's see. We got plenty of space, so it will reach, no problem. But I just want to see and make sure that, because it's a thicker radiator and all that. I just want to make sure it's going to align with what we have for mounting holes. And I think we're good. Only one we'll miss is all the way at the end. We're missing one, but that's fine. We don't need that one. That's totally fine. And we may be able to bring this fan inside. So this fan that I mounted outside looks like we'll most likely be able to put that sucker inside. So yay. Yay, this was meant to be. And then we just want to make sure that this is going to fit. They want the inlet and outlet pipes to be towards the bottom. So yep, that will totally go there. And the only thing we may run into is this here SSD cooler. We might have to take that one out. We'll see. So I think I'm gonna mount the radiator first. Their instructions tell you to do this part first, the water block. Okay, so I'm gonna deviate from their instructions. You should probably just do it their way. I'm just doing it this way because I kind of can already see that it's going to fit, and I just want to make sure that that radiator is secure. So here's all the mounting screws. And then before we mount this up, we have to remember, chat, to put this, we got to plug this into the radiator. We have to remember. Jones always forgets that, and then it still works, but it's just not as tidy. The wires kind of stick out a little bit more when you don't do that first before you put the water block on. Okay. Oh yeah, and we got washers. Oh baby, let's go. Let's go. Dude, this looks so much better already. If it's a tight fit, make sure you tuck in the wires first before you start mounting it super permanently. Okay. There we go. Oops. Oh, let's also double check that this fan. Yep, no problem. Okay, good. Yeah, baby. Oh. And always, to be safe for yourself, always use washers. Even if you don't, like if you lose these, and don't put these in without washers, because it kind of helps it mount more secure, because sometimes these little rails, they're so like cheaply done sometimes that your screw without a washer will pull through, and then your whole radiator could drop. But the other reason is because it spaces these away, and they don't dig into these fins as much, you know. And there's also lines. The lines are supposed to 100% not line up with the mounting positions. So if they do, then that's on the people who made the radiator, right? That's just fucking dumb. But still, you know, you don't want it digging all the way in there. I don't know, I'm just rambling. Caffeine hit me hard again today, dude. It's crazy. So yeah, we're only missing this very top left screw. Will not have a screw in it. This is more than enough to hold it in place. And then we're cross-threading that one, so we can use that same technique. Turn it until we hear that. And that means that the threads are locking in place. So when you've done a lot of screwing in your life like Jonesy, you know how to screw things. Oh my gosh. Also, don't accidentally use the fan screws. I know this is so stupid, some of the things that I'm coming out with, but like the threads for the actual radiator mounts, it's very hard to see. They're gonna be very thin, and the ones for your fans are gonna be very coarse. Yo, May, what's up? You thought that was funny, huh? And then don't over tighten these. The metal they use on the radiator is very soft. Even in the threaded area where you put these mounting screws. So it's very easy to strip the threads. And if you strip the threads, you know, that bad things can happen, dude. You know, Jones knows a thing or two about stripping as well. Just, you know, just saying. Oh my god. These are totally boomer / dad joke day on the Jones stream. You know, if I didn't know these things, how the hell do you think I became a father? What the fuck? All right. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is secure. We are good to go. And it looks so good. Matchy. A much better matchy. There's that one. All right, cool. Okay, so don't need the fan ones. And we have one left over. Because, like I said, it just didn't line up in that specific spot there. Syringe strip, you're a man of many talents. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know. You know what I'm saying. If you don't, I'm sorry. Okay, let's make ourselves a little bit more room. Over there. Screwdriver's right there. Got to put this on. So, and also we're getting close to the time that we got to do the thermal compound. So we're either going to use a phase change sheet, or we're going to use thermal paste. I'm voting, I think I'm going to go with thermal paste because this thing has been giving us some problems, right? So if there's any issues, I don't want to run a phase change sheet if I have to take this back off, right? If I have to take the water block off. So we're definitely going to err on the side of thermal paste, and we'll just use that MX6. It spreads so much better than anything else that I've ever tried, and it has good performance as well. So all right, let's take this off. Oh, I guess I lied accidentally. So you do have an RGB cable. So in my instance, we're gonna have 4 on the motherboard, right? So you got RGB, and you got 3 fan headers that are gonna get plugged in, right? And so this is what we got to plug in now. And so they just tell you, you plug this in here, and then where the RGB cable already is at, that's where you run these and tuck these in. So it keeps it a little nicer. So that's why you want to do this first before you mount it. Because if you do it later, you can still get to this and you still plug this in, but it's very difficult to get the wires to go under this gap here, which keeps it a lot more tidy when you put the wires under there. So it's just a heads up for the future. And I can't see, so which way does this go? I think it goes, okay, I found it. So these lines, you can see kind of like the grooves that has to fit in between, so it goes this way. And just press that in, and then I do have my handy dandy chopstick. I couldn't find this yesterday. That's why I broke my Berenbow stick yesterday. So that sucks. But I'll get a new one, and then, you know, maybe that one had too much, you know, a bad voodoo on it. You know, it's seen some things in its time. That Berenbow stick has, you know, it's been all over the place with me. It's been to Brazil. Well, it came from Brazil, actually. That's where I got it, and it's been all over the USA, and a couple of other nations. So again, once you do that, then you just start, you know, kind of working it out where you're going to put these under this hook / lip area. This one too. There. And that just kind of helps tidy it up a little bit more. Let me see. Try to do one at a time here, but what the heck? Probably one at a time is a better idea. Yeah, do these one at a time, guys. Don't be like me. We try to stuff them all at the same time. There it goes, one. And then there's number 2. Number 2. Giggity. There we go. And then the last one is the 4. And that one should be fine. And then just double check that you didn't loosen up this connector. It should be good. All right. We did that. Now we'll start getting ready for the thermal paste. We'll use the tube they gave us. I do have some more. But this one is the new formula. So the new formula is supposedly improved even more. So I don't know, we'll see if it is or not. And we'll follow their instructions. Except for I think I might end up spreading it myself. All right, where is my cleaning thing here? I guess I put the fucking alcohol stuff away. Top Gun, baby. Yeah. Okay.
Imagine that.
Imagine. What up, May? Thank you. Hearts to you too. The only thing I actually kind of don't like that the wires are white is because the motherboard is black. You're gonna see them a little easier, but it is whatever. You the Top Gun. I am for a day. I am for a day, baby. Okay, let's see what kind of advice they got for applying the thermal paste. So they like to just do an X. That's the recommendation that they're giving, which is totally viable. Very good. But I don't know, I just like spreading the thermal paste manually to make sure. So that's what I'm gonna do. I think Jay's 2 cents does that as well. I think a lot of times the Bauer does spreading. Might depend on what paste he uses. I don't know. All right, where is my spreadability tools? It's in here. See, I already got a bunch of MX6, but this is supposedly the older formula now, according to whatever the fuck. What is wrong with my brain? According to who are these people? I don't remember. Arctic, goddamn. Your brain don't work. See, I have. This is a Czechium brand, so that's like a generic brand. Well, it's not generic. It's Czechium brand contact frame. I have more of those, so it's all good. I got a Thermalright AM5 secure frame. I got all kinds of stuff, man. You'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what I got. I got Arctic Silver 5. I got PK3. Dude. That's what I'm telling you, man. I got some leftover cryo fuse stuff. But that stuff is very hard. This right here, very hard to spread. Not fun. supposed to be really high thermal conductivity and good quality. Cool your shit off real good, but man, if it's a bitch to spread, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's go ahead and wipe the tube end cap off area, whatever. Let's see what it looks like. Does it look thinner or thicker than it used to? Oh, I think it actually looks a little thicker. This, okay. Shit. Maybe I will do the X. Because, oh, no, it's stretching out. We're probably going to spread it. Because we did a horrible X. The top on just in case. Don't let it oxidize. Oh no! Mix them all together. Super Saiyan paste. I like that. One day I should do that. Thanks, mate. I like that. One of these days we're gonna mix together a whole bunch of fucking thermal paste. We're gonna like make like a Frankenstein paste. Hold on. Oh yeah, it's thicker. No! Arctic, why? Why'd you make it thicker, dude? It's harder to spread. Get the fuck out of here. Oh my god, Arctic. Arctic. I mean, I know you guys don't even recommend to spread it. But, dude, really? Why? Okay, follow their instructions to the letter, chat. Or future viewer on the VOD. Do the X. Save yourself the headache and the finger cramping for whatever reason. My hand decided to cramp just now. Because, oh boy. That's a fucking bunch of bullshit, dude. I guess the thicker pastes, or like when you make pastes that have higher thermal conductivity, I think maybe it's you know, the viscosity becomes more dense. You know, just as, you know, it is what it is type of a thing, I guess. Oh well. Alright, so do not get the new MX6 and expect to do spreading like me. In my opinion, you're going to want to... I might even clean this off and just do the X. I don't know. Because it's going to be very uneven, this spreading that I'm doing. Yeah. Damn it. You know what? That actually makes me mad. I'm triggered now. Let's just pretend we were doing there used to be a thing that some of us old timers in the PC building game, we used to score. And you know, this is one of those days I've been screwing. Haven't stripped yet, thank God, but you know, we talked about stripping. And now I'm about to talk about scoring. So anyway, we used to score the both the coolers, especially if it was copper. We would score it, and the CPU, the top of the CPU, with a very thin amount of the thermal paste you're going to use. And it used to be a technique to help it like spread better. So look at all that waste that Jones did. Let's go back and do the X. Son of a bitch. Just do the X, guys. Do the X. And now I'm drawing a horrible X, worse than the fucking first one. It's whatever. Oh my god. Oh, what a horrible job. Oh my god, and I made a mountain at the fucking... Okay. Alright. I'm not proud of it, guys. I am not proud of that, chat. But whatever. Alright, so you do an X. Their X is so perfect too, but you know, it's an animated picture, it's not the real deal. And then it says, when you mount this this water block, right? You're gonna want to tighten them gently until both engage with the threads, and then, you know, alternate. Tighten, 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 tighten until it bottoms out, basically, right? So let's go ahead and peel this. And then, you know, also just double, you know, well, actually I didn't need to take this one off yet. I just noticed. That's fine. We'll keep that on there. It's this that you got to peel. Okay. It's got like a little bit of an oxidized circle. Wonder if I should wipe that down. Okay. And the tubing goes down. So sometimes, you know, it can be a pain to get these to kind of just be gentle with them, because you do not want to snap these. That would ruin your day. I guarantee it. Okay. Let me see here. Keep all these up out of the way. I'm gonna Velcro these onto the tubes. Hold on one second. Where are my Velcro? I had a whole bag of Velcro straps. Where the hell are they? Oh, here we go. Okay, let's take all of these and Velcro them to this side here so they don't fall in our way. Okay, cool. And it is a little bit difficult to get it to feel comfortable with the turn here. I don't like, let me drop the table down. More. Let's go more. just a little bit more. Okay, let's put phone off to the side. I don't want to be like grabbing it if it starts to fall or some shit, and then I fuck everything up. Okay, sometimes I have the hardest time lining these up. Arctic. Just saying. It's a skill issue. It's a skill issue, guys. Okay, I think we're good. No, I did not keep track of the turns. Oh no. Oh no. Let's just do half turns. All the way down. Wait, what? Why did that move, actually? That was weird. We do not, on this motherboard, so the Z690 Strix, Z690E Strix ROG gaming motherboard, you don't have to remove the SSD top slot cooler. So, yay. Fuck. Caffeine, man, it'll fucking kill you, dude. Be careful. Be careful if you're a caffeine drinker. Okay, and then these bottom out. So, don't, you know, don't go past, when you feel that, you don't need to go past that. You're fine. Okay, so, I guess I'll try to keep that. A little bit of MX6 for a future project. What a fucking waste, dude. What a motherfucking bullshit, man. This is a motherfucking bullshit, man. It's a fucking bullshit. Okay. Alright, then we just do a check with a different screwdriver. So we just check ourselves, make sure. And we are good. Should be good to go. Tubes feel okay. They don't feel too stressed out. That is good. Now it says to take this off and put that magnetic VRM decorative VRM fan part on now, but I'm not, because I want to run these wires first. That's what I'm going to do first. So you see that? That is a way easier install than the Corsair that we were messing with yesterday. Way easier. Like 100,000% easier. So let's put these kind of one at a time. See if we can get them to pass the RAM and the whatever area. Okay, this one next. Wait, what is this one? Oh, that's the pump. Actually, oof. I wanted that one down there. Okay, so maybe, 'cause you don't want all those lines down there, maybe it goes back down and around. Why is this? Wait, what? Okay, so this comes back and we plug it into the AIO pump right there. Because this motherboard has a header that is labeled that AIO pump, so we will take advantage of that. This is RGB. That should have been last. We'll do that last. Let's see, we got VRM and fan. That's fan is going to go to the CPU. Let's see who's first. Let's go fan first. That, and then next will be, no, not that, darn it. Next is the VRM fan. And then now the RGB 5-volt situation. What did we, wait, what? Oh, did I went through, somehow I went through that. What the frig? With these two, oh my goodness. I hate wires. Still. Even 3. Even when there's like 15 less wires, I still hate the wires that are left. Boom. RGB. You're next. Oh, fuck, dude. And then my camera over here, like a Momo. Okay, it's still working. I didn't even fucking readjust that. Okay. Let's turn this way and lift it up here. I think we're okay.
Imagine that.
Imagine. I was wondering about the camera. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now with this little bit of a gap, because we're using a 360 AiO, and these are 120 fans, you get this nice gap here where you can kind of see underneath here to plug some things in. So I got a chassis fan here I can use for the VRMs. Easy. Just like that. Okay. That is chassis fan 4. Okay. And then over here, we got fan. We'll go into, that is the CPU fan. So it makes sense. We'll just go ahead and populate that one. Put this over here. And then now we need to use one of these RGB controllers that are right there. Oh, actually, you got one 12 volt and one 5 volt. So we're going to use definitely the 5 volt, which is the 3 pin. So we don't want to force it into that other one because it's got too many pins. Boom. All right, so all those, maybe, you know, from the back side, maybe we can kind of Velcro them together loosely. I don't want to tighten too much because then it will pull them out of their respective headers. And we might, you know, do the testing like this. So just so I can make sure that, you know, the GPU is in the fucking socket, we want to, you know, try to limit the amount of things that it could be that's wrong with the setup. And we got to update the BIOS anyway, so I got to fucking grab all that kind of off stream on another computer and put it on a thumb drive. But we're pretty much done with this, so let's see if we can get the pretty part, this, hooked up. And let's go ahead and peel some of these, which, you know, it's hard to see, but they have protective plastic or whatever on them, so bloop. Very important that you see that, right? I don't know. I love peeling these. I think a lot of electronic loving people do. Oh yeah. And then we'll peel this one. We already kind of peeled that one earlier, but we'll just make sure we get that off before we forget. And then just double check Nothing else needed to be peeled. That looks like it's already been peeled a long time ago. And then this has one. Maybe we'll do that last in case we're in here working. Like if it doesn't boot up and we're like, oh, I gotta get in there. You know, we don't wanna we don't have to fight that. We don't want to scratch this up per se. Okay. Now the cables are kind of in the way a little bit. So let me see. Where's my chopsticks? Okay. Which way does it go? Like that. Oh, it touches the top VRM, it looks like. It's okay. It squeezes in there. So just a heads up, if you really don't like forcing things even a slight bit and you want perfect perfect fit, this is touching the top VRM. And it's kind of wedged in a little bit. So, just saying. On the Strix, on this specific motherboard, I have a ton of other motherboards. It doesn't touch at all. So, just this. It's just this one. The Strix Z690E. Okay. Alright, lift this back up. And then we can drop down our table a little bit more. Okay. Now let's turn it the correct way for actually let's change this fan too, dude. Hell yeah. So now the fan can go where it's supposed to go, and this is not required back here anymore. We can put what's supposed to go here as well. Okay. Nice. Put this off to the side. Let's go digging for that one. Well, I'm going to leave it on the outside for us, you know, updating the BIOS and testing, test boot and all that. Not going to... I'm going to fight it. Okay, all of these. Now we'll try to get into the BIOS straight away first, and then we'll see about updating the BIOS. What am I missing here? Okay, mouse and keyboard. Where did I put the wireless adapter? And then we're not going to go through the capture card, I don't think. I mean, we could try. Should we try that? I basically just want this to work, right? So, even if that means I can't share all of the process. Well, fuck it, we'll try it. Plug that in. And then that one goes over here. We just need to choose HDMI. Shit, which one is it? 2, I guess. Okay. HDMI 2. And then I need my little Wi-Fi, or not Wi-Fi, my adapter for the fucking mouse and keyboard. Are you kidding me right now? What the heck? What did I do with it? Oh, are you kidding me? It's still plugged into the fucking motherboard. Oh man, don't lose your mind, chat. It's not good for you. Okay, let's go ahead and plug this in here. Okay. Have our keyboard ready for the delete key. Okay. Turn on the power button. Double check. And we didn't leave anything undone. Like an undone potato, as Scrooge said. Where's the button? Here it is. Oh, those are pretty. Oh, I want you to see, chat. I'm sorry. Okay. And this motherboard hates when you change the hardware. It fucking hates it. The GPU is the one that's going super fast. So it's as if it doesn't like the GPU for whatever reason. It says A0 or AO, so we should get a fucking image here. Wait, no, now it started over again. It made it all the way to AO, and then it started backtracking, and now it's at 98. Why? Oh, what does it say? New CPU has been installed. Okay. That is good. Ow! Don't put your fingers in the fans. Alright, so I'm going to try to share this. Where's my thing? See if I have a capture of this or not. So we can see the BIOS together. I think I have it on the HD60. Yay, I do. Alright, cool. Now, let's put it, I guess I'll put it up here. Yeah, that's kind of fine. Okay, so it's saying, you know, before making any adjustments in the BIOS, please F5 to load the factory default settings to ensure smooth operation. And then please plus F1 to enter the BIOS setup. So we're gonna go into the setup. I think sometimes F5 will like get you to boot into your operating system, right? But I want to play with the actual BIOS, so that's what we want to do. We want to go into the BIOS, hopefully. And there we are. We're in the BIOS, and it has reset everything for us. I am not actually going to use, like I did before, these saved. I had some BIOS settings saved from way back. I'm not going to use those. We're going to do fresh ones. Which, you know, does kind of suck, but that's what we're going to do. So, success. We have full RGB. No problem. We got these fans lighting up beautifully. We have the top thing here lighting up beautifully. RAM is lighting up beautifully. That's all this does. It just, you know, that's all you get on the GPU. This one, the Aero. You get a little light right there. And then of course we got the front thermal take black fans.
Imagine that.
Who the hell was that? Swiss, party time. Yeah, we're good. So the only thing I really think I want to do is actually, you know what? I don't really think I need to fucking do anything now. This thing is good to go. Before we had to like go into Windows to like set up all the RGB because it was Corsair. We don't have to do that now because it's Arctic now. And it just fucking works, bro. It just flippin' works right now. Hey, this is actually putting some air in there. We might leave this out here. We actually might leave that out because it's putting some cool air for this. Because otherwise the GPU is going to be putting out some fucking heat. And like 90% of it is going to go through the radiator. What was that? That was some water bubbles. If I flip these around, this fan right here where it's an exhaust, it will help pull some of the heat away. Wait, actually, this one's getting cool air. Like this cool air will go right into this one. So we are getting cool air. I don't know, I kind of like it there in it. Well, but then you don't have a dust filter on this one. Fuck. Yeah, that's not ideal. That's not ideal. Let me see. I have some dust filters, but I don't want to. Like, I think that spot is not. Oh, what is the temperatures? Oh, temperature's only 31. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, they were 36 with the other one, the older one. Now again, granted, it was not a brand new radiator, right? So that was part of the problem, and it wasn't brand new thermal paste either. Oh, but this motherfucker's done, and it was what I thought. I'm so thankful. Thank you, God. It was exactly what I thought it was. It were what it was. What it was, what it was. What it who, what it was. Yeah, you know what? We'll put this fan inside. Dude, that's kind of a shame now. No. We'll leave these up here. That's fine. It looks nice. That's fine. This back one will go inside. Might leave this grill on it. That's fine. Flip it around so we won't accidentally stab ourselves. And then this extension will not be needed because we'll actually be plugging it right into that. I think it will reach there. So I guess preemptively I'm gonna tape this one up right here. Well, maybe not tape. Yeah, tape. Where is my... Here we go. Tape. Tape this bad boy up. Okay. And then this I want to also protect. So let's go ahead and unplug it. Okay, whew. There you go. And then this we'll figure out. Maybe it will be useful for these fans, like to split these instead of putting them together. I don't know, we'll see. That's probably a good idea to split these up. And then this one is fully stopped. Okay, cool. Don't work on your computer when it's plugged in, guys, and running. It should be obviously off, but more importantly unplugged before you do any of this. Ow! Because things like that happen. Ow! Fuck. I just got my finger in the fan. Okay. Whew. There we go. And then you don't want to drop screws onto your motherboard while it's got electricity running through it. Okay, here we go. So then this fan hopefully will fit. Yes, very good. Very good. I mean, hopefully that can reach down there. Ooh, not quite. Not quite. Okay. Well, then this will come this way. We'll just reuse this same power cable here. Keep that kind of safe, hopefully. And we're not gonna plug it in until we're done mounting it. At least we'll get that part right. Yay, guys, we're finally doing the right thing on this whole build. All because of the Corsair thing, man. That was like God talking to us. But like, yo man, you need a new cooler on this build because that other one's gonna give you problems. And also you need to be motivated to fix what you should have done the right way the first time. So. And then I kind of like that Noctua grill on that. That actually looks pretty legit, man. Ugh, don't touch fans when they're running, Jones. What the fuck, dude? Okay. It's in there. Now, we can plug this back in. And then we'll kind of tie this up. And hide these a little bit better. And that will definitely look a whole lot nicer. I think that's basically all I want to do to this build, except for obviously updating BIOS. But now I don't necessarily need to do that like now. So I think we can I'll shut it down because we do need to test will it start back up again. So here we're gonna peel this. Blue. And then we can make sure it turns back on after we'll do like one last wire management session. And then we'll see if this puppy will start up again. We'll put all of the screws in their place, all the panels, put everything back. Yeah, we'll do that. So let's go ahead and power it down. It's running so much quieter too. Oh my gosh. Let's go ahead and power this down. Let's get all of our thumb screws back. We should have 5, I believe. Let's turn off the share. Don't need that. See if I can show any of this. Yeah, we'll put all this stuff in there. Let's do the GPU first, make sure it's I'm gonna use this thinner screwdriver here. So I've been scratching that up a little bit. That's not good. Darn it. Good thing I got monkey toes. Got monkey feet. Okay, we'll do this top one first. Oh, come on. Patience, patience, caffeine. Work with me, caffeine. Caffeine. have the patience. Oh no, Caffeine, you have no patience for me, man. No, Caffeine! Why are you not have patience for me, man? The fuck? Okay, fuck. Caffeine! Patience, my friend. Thank you, Caffeine. Last one. Beautiful. I guess we're gonna turn it off and unplug it. Let's do this. Let's do this. Might complain again because I actually should have like saved those default settings in the BIOS, but hopefully it kind of auto-saved the fact that, you know, we went in there the first time after a supposed CPU change. Alright, so let's double check wiring management here. Let's see. We should kind of be okay here. And this, all that's plugged in good. Now we can put the little hard disk drive on the back here. Now that it's protecting the CPU. Okay. Hopefully it's not this thing. Imagine if we plug this in and then now we start having problems again, right? Okay. That's fine. Got those off to the side. That's okay. I don't think we need anything else here. Let's just kind of wrap this stuff up real quick. Get this one wrapped and protected. Let's get some more Velcro. Probably put these together, I guess. Hold them all together. It's fine. That kind of protected. That's kind of taped together. That's good. Keep that. do kind of need another. Here, we'll use this one. Because we're not using that now. You see. Pretty much wrapped all these others up. So now we're going to wrap this one as well. We don't need it for anything in particular. Keep that like that. Brr, 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 brr. Now let's find if I have any super thin ones. No, I don't. I just have these. Kind of. Wonder if I should even do anything with this one. Maybe the long ones here we'll put together like that. So they kind of stay here, kind of weighted down to the back a little bit. Like this. Okay, so all that's good. Maybe I could tie that too. Go ahead and wrap this up real quick as well. This spot right here. Hopefully it doesn't get caught by the door. Ding, 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 ding. All right, back of the case. That's done, man. That is done. So let's kind of step back here. See? And then I believe it goes in at an angle first. Let me see here. Like that. And then this side snaps first. First you snap it into place. And then you do the thumb screws at the end here. And it has a screen in there, dust filter. I think we'll leave it like that. That's a little bit of extra, maybe, you know, airflow in or out. Then we'll turn this around. Okay. Well, actually, let's do the front. Let's make sure we don't forget the dust filter up here. So it has a magnetic element to it, but also you put in like that, and then magnets hold it down there. Then you put this front piece on, and I don't know if there's a perfect, I think it's kind of symmetrical, so, oh no, it says Corsair here. If you try to do it the other way, then the Corsair would be upside down, right? So just very lightly. So if you wanted it the other way, it would probably fit, but then, you know, maybe you just paint over that or something, or put a sticker on it. I don't know. Let's try the top. Do the top next. Now, it does not have a dust filter for the top, so that's why it's a good thing we're doing exhaust here. Let's see, is this sliding, or how is this here? Yep. So you kind of put it in place a little early before the edge, and then you slide it down, and then thumb screws. Thumb screws. All right, so now we can work on, let's see, in here, how do I want to kind of organize? Let's put this cable kind of like that. And then the stand here, gonna have to tighten the mounting screw from inside of the case. Let's do that. Okay. We'll make sure that the cable here is not in the fan. We'll double check the fan. We'll see if we need to lift that up. Yeah, we do, just a little. Okay. There we go. Wait, that's not even. Okay, that side's too high. Hold on. Sorry. Let's try to balance this thing down a little. There we go. That looks even. Very good. Okay, and then this. I think that's fine. We'll just double check that screw isn't loose again. We'll After the adjustment. Okay, good. Put this back down. Make sure those are clear. Okay. All right, now we do this bottom side panel. Now it has two choices. You can have blocked off, kind of, I don't know how to describe it. Or like this is kind of like, it can let light kind of through, kind of cheesecloth style. So I'm gonna leave that one. This one blocks any light. Neither of them let any air through, so if you want airflow, you'd have to take them off. And then I didn't see a dust filter for this one, so you're probably just kind of SOL basically. And then this I should have put on earlier, but this kind of blocks off the view of some of these wires back here. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to do it now. See, I'm gonna go up there. And then is there another hole right there maybe? But you'll have an easier time if you put this in like first before you close it up. So it's fine. And then it looks like it has a couple screw holes that you can kind of mount it in place. So I'm gonna get those. Where's the bag of screws? Oh, here we go. Let's see which ones go in there. I don't know actually. There, I think those, right? Let's try this out. Alright, stop, go away. Leave me alone. Let's see if this fits. Really fucking supposed to be a good magnet. What the hell? Oh my gosh, it's like magnetizing so strong it's going through the screw and the screw is trying to get stuck to the fucking whatever I'm trying to say. Okay, no. So it is a bigger thread than that. So it's not that. That's the motherboard ones. Well, I guess I don't have to. It's not like it needs to be fucking screwed in place. Besides, I think that's if you want to use the, they have a different mounting setup for the, well, can't think right now, the GPU bracket. So there's this one, kind of pops in place. I don't know why it's bowed out. Okay, whatever. And then you kind of screw that in like that. Okay, so it needs to be bent the other way a little bit. Be careful. It's very easy to do a horrible job of this, bending it back. There. It's a little better. Yeah, that's okay. Glass time. The final situation. Now sometimes they have a peel inside and out, so let me check if it does. Yeah, it does. So peel that first. Even peeling this sometimes worries me that I'm gonna crack it. You know, if you pull too hard in the middle there. Okay, no joy, man, no joy. Fail. Okay. So this looks like it slides to the front first, and then kind of do it like that, and then you screw it up to those with those thumb screws. Okay, so let's kind of let you witness that final peel, I guess. And again, don't go ham. I think it's still possible to crack this fucking thing by pulling on, you know, because this is stuck to it so well. So just be gentle. You know, be very gentle. And if I break it, be even more gentle than what I'm doing right now. Dude, that is so clear. It literally looks like there's nothing there. Like there's no glass. Like that's that kind of glass that you like walk into, thinking that the glass or the glass door is open. That's what this looks like. That is crazy. Whoo! That is crazy looking, dude. Okay, so now that we've done that, just make sure we're not any fans bunched up. So now we have both hard drives hooked up. So this will be another test, I suppose, to see if, you know, does it still have any trouble booting up. So let's go ahead and see if we can get into the BIOS again. On this one, we don't really have to set up any RGB. You can, you know, don't get me wrong, you can tweak it or whatever, but I'm gonna leave it with the Unicorn Puke because that's what the front Thermaltake fans do. So really, that's the only way to match those, is to leave it with that. So let's go ahead and try this out. Keyboard at the ready. Camera maybe a little low on this one, so you can get a kind of a low view of the fans lighting up. Turn off some of these lights. This one. Okay, just kind of recenter. That one keeps drooping, but whatever. Keyboard's ready. Okay. Power supply on. Give it a second. And go. Oh, the stupid camera mount is not very good at all. It's gonna fall. Be careful, chat. You might fall any moment now. So it might tell me the same thing it did before because I didn't save any settings. All right. Let's go. Hell yeah, let's go, guys. We are good. Let me just prove it. I mean, you can see it running, so that's good. But let me prove that the BIOS came up. And this time, not necessarily like an error. So, that was good. Let's move this down here. And then maybe if I put blue curtains, you can see it better. Kind of. Not really. Bad camera. Bad cameras. This is Jones's camera setup here. That's how it be, fam. That's how it be. Ah, fuck it. I don't care anymore. I'll switch to the other one. Switch to the Stargazer. There you go.
Imagine that.
Right now the fans look white because the camera is just that bad. That's just how bad the camera is. So but they're rainbow. Maybe if I get closer? Yeah, if I get closer you can see. Can't even read that. That says Aero. CPU running at 33 right now. It was actually running cooler with it open, which that makes sense. It should. That totally makes sense. There's no problem. See, by it being the see-through kind of diffused, you can see some of the lighting like blend through that bottom area. That's kind of cool. So we successfully did it. Thank God. Thanks, May. Looks awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Oh man. But hopefully, you know I reaffirmed my knowledge that those RGB controllers and fan controllers can go bad, and they can also be a pain in the dick. So hopefully maybe that reaffirmed that info for you, or maybe you didn't know that and now you do. So in the future, if you run into any problems, you just put down, you know, like a bunch of money on some parts or an entire build, and you just put that fresh build together, and then you're having BIOS problems. It's giving you like a code 99 on an Asus motherboard, which means like there's something with like the either input, output, USB, you know, different things like that. If that's what's going down, it might be, you know, some shitty fan controller. Of course, it could be a bunch of other things, right? For us, thank God, it was not those other things, and it was actually fan controller, RGB controller, pump controller. But we got rid of that shit, and now we're just living the good life, pretty much. Well, I was going to wait for Vaughn, but I guess Vaughn's taking the day off, so let's shut this down, right? And let me do a quick unboxing because I need it, and I'll install it and show it. I need 100% a Anti Sag bracket on this this 5070 on my streaming build. So we'll unbox and then we will fucking install it because it's an open air case anyway, so it's super easy. So go ahead and shut this puppy down. So thumbs up. I love this case. I don't like Corsair's previous generation iCue fan controllers, RGB controller, all-in-one liquid coolers. Maybe their current generation stuff is way better with that new USB-C whatever link commander system that they have. So I don't know anything about those. I only know about the previous generation. That one has always given me problems. So now I'm just fanboying out with the Arctic shit. So say goodbye. The case is amazing though. 4000D RS edition. If you want these non-RGB fans. If you want the RGB fans, then you got to get the RGB 4000. Right? But it's a great case. It was very fun to build in. And only some of my kind of unnecessary decisions was the only reason we had, in some places we had some kind of, I don't know how to say it, like difficulty, you know. If I had not made those decisions, then we wouldn't have had even one problem at all. Okay, so got a couple of different things here that we can unbox. Get my mouse back and switch. Just some GPU brackets, that's all. Okay, then we can get rid of that. All right, cool. And so the reason we're doing this, if I can get this camera over here, is if I put this camera just right, you'll be able to see. Yeah, see, there you go. You can see that 5070 here is leaning. And that's a pretty lightweight 5000 series GPU. So if, you know, like Vaughn was asking yesterday, do I need an anti-sag bracket? Well, a lot of your cases are gonna have it in there already. So that will handle it. So I say yes, you should get one. And if your case has it, perfect, you're covered. But use it, right? Some people, you know, don't even end up using it perhaps, even though their case has it built in. So I just got a couple different types to show, in case, you know, anybody, you know, hasn't really messed with these. All right, and then let me see. Dude, the glare. Well, I don't know. All right, so the two that I got here are just off-brand. You can get, you know, some brand name stuff, Cooler Master, fucking MSI, Asus, whatever, right? And you can get some that come across from the actual like the back IO panel bracket. It'll come across and help hold it. So there's other types in this, but I just got the more standard, more, you know, normal. So this is a kind that has like a pole arm and then a base, and then these two ledges can be used to help hold the weight of your GPU. And then I also want a cylinder style one. So let's go ahead and let's open that one first, since you can kind of see the other one from the packaging pictures. And these range in price, like you can get them as cheap as like what, like $6 to $8, but then all the way up to like $30, $40, $50 if it's got crazy amounts of shit all over it. So this type is just a cylinder type, and there's different, you know, implementations of it, but this one has like a thumb screw right here, and then this adjusts. And then you tighten it where you need it to be, right? So that would help hold up your GPU. Like if this is your GPU, and then it helps hold it up, right? Like that. Okay. Very simple. So we'll see. The only thing you gotta look out for is you gotta find out how much reach do you need it to have. You know what I mean? And this one's got a nice little like kind of hydraulic spring effect. So it goes down slowly. That's kind of cool. So you would have to like check the measurements of like how much lift do you need, and then make sure you get one that is capable of going that amount of distance. You know what I mean? Because they make them like for very small spaces, like a little bit of lift, and then they have some that are very tall for like maybe bigger cases. So here we got this one comes like a kit, and it gives you like a little balance leveling. So we'll see. This will show that the bubble is all the way to the left, even though you know you can't really see. But there's the bubble on the left. So that means this thing is leaning. Now if your house is leaning, or the case is on something that's not level, the way that you do this is you don't want to just check the GPU, right? You want to also check your case, right? And so when I put it on the case, like the foundation, or if I put it on the top of the case or whatever, right, you can see the bubble is pretty much in the middle. So that tells me I want to level the GPU to the case. That's what I want, right? So if the case was a little bit, you know, kind of, you know, angled because of maybe the desk for whatever reason, which, you know, check your desk out if it's doing that, because your desk may be ready to fall apart. But whatever this measures is what I want to level it to, right? So anyway, so we definitely need to put a bracket on it. And then it comes with 2 ledges, and because you put them on there, if you only need one of them, like just your GPU, and you don't want to sandwich it, because you know when you got 2 like this, you can sandwich your GPU, or you can put one there, or you can have one for the GPU, one for like your CPU fan or whatever, right? So you can choose whether or not to put it there. And then this one is adjustable to be, you know, kind of like a medium height, and then it also has like a very tall height, right? The adjustability of this.
Imagine that.
Imagine. Yo, gamer, what's up? Welcome back, Crocop. So let's see. Let's switch over to the big picture of that. I can kind of show again some things. So then you got to find out like where you're going to put this at. Like for me, I'm probably going to put it on this part of the case. So that would be how much I need. So do I need this one? Yes, that would work. And this one would probably work too. So both of these would work for me, right? Or if I wanted to, you know, like have it even taller for whatever reason, right? I could do both, right? So tell Jetforce on my low-end mobile, and dude, he's alive. Oh my gosh, it worked. Oh, what's up, Pained Gardener? What is up? Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. Yeah, of course. All of us want lots of viewers, man. All of us. You know, don't ask silly questions. What the hell are you talking about? All right. Anyway. There we go. Make sure my chats are good. Where the hell's my Rumble chat? I just lost it. Oh, there it is. Okay, we're good. Oh, the tasteful thickness. You're here for the gamer feet. What the fuck, bro? What are you trying? Why are you looking at my feet? I'm gonna have to start wearing shoes on stream, homie. What the heck? What in the heck? Well, welcome on in, you know. Are you sure you're not Miyazaki? You know, I heard he has some things for the feet. So there's that. And then if we used this, right, it would be simpler. So maybe I will use this one. And then you shouldn't do this while it's running, you know, just saying. Let's find the edge here. They call me White Tarantino. Hell yeah, bro. Yeah. Okay. Well, I like me some good feet too, so, you know, welcome on in, Tarantino. Welcome on in. Actually, that other one would be better because then I can angle it instead of being like right next to that fan. Like, the fan is right there and we're kind of on the edge of it, right? So let me drop this down. So see, if I use this one very close to the fan, and then maybe it falls and gets into the fan. We don't want that. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring the camera back so you can see my feet. Well, actually, all right, never mind. I lied. You can't see my feet. Sorry. I mean, eventually, they will show up eventually, from time to time. But the reason we're over here is just because we're gonna build this flipping thing, and then this is just a rubberized non-slip thing dilly that we'll put on the bottom of this right here. Just line it up with the holes, you know. There's some holes in this house. If you see them, point them out. There we go. Like that. Okay, so now it won't slip so easily on that on the aluminum stuff. And we got that. And then I don't know, so I don't lose it. I don't need both of these for a very tall setup, but so I don't lose them, I am going to just go ahead and install everything. That way I don't end up losing it. And there you go. Just like that. Dude. Raised eyebrows. Yeah, raise the eyebrows in the chat. Okay, so you just slide that one on. This is a pretty neat one. I like this one. And then if we wanted to like sandwich the GPU, then you would put this rubber side down and then sandwich your GPU in between. If you need this one for another thing that needs to be held, like the weight, like maybe a air cooler on your CPU, then you would put the rubber up. Very easy. Very easy. So good to see you, Tasteful. Welcome on in. It's nice to see you again. Hope you've been doing well. Okay, and then we got these they just supply you some fan screws because you can use those to mount this to an actual fan shroud, like the corners. That's what that's for. We don't have a fan at that location, so send me a location is not gonna work. So here we go. So with this, I think this is a better idea because I can angle it to get this corner and stay well away from the actual fans. And again, do not do this with your PC running, fam. Okay. But already that makes it look more level. Like, even though my camera is not. So let's put this back up. So I'm gonna put a bullet so it holds the yeah. We crashed on the UFC. Oh, you cashed in. Oh, hell yeah. We can afford streamer feet now. Let's go. Oh yeah, man. Throw that money around, baby. Let's go. What you talking about, man? Okay, where's my leveler? Let's take the little air bubble. So maybe just a little bit more of an uplift. You don't want too much because, you know, you'll fucking tweak your card. Okay. And hopefully that doesn't get in the way of me adding some fans. I don't know, man. I mean, it might be worth it to use the other one. Because it's just a little bit... Actually, wait, I forgot. I can loosen this. This bottom part. And then I can move this more that way. There we go. Yeah, then it won't be in the way at all. So then we'll be good. Yeah, who did you win on? Are you talking about the Pereira versus Ankalev battle? You talking about that one? Tasteful? You're still there. Sorry, I am slightly slow. Interesting. Oh, I found a screw. There we go. So now it is a lot more level and stable. Kind of matches the case. Cool. Yeah, perfect. Boom, boom, boom. There. Now everything should be a little bit more right in the world. Hopefully. Oliveira had a cute comeback against an up-and-coming Polish guy named Gamrot. Oh yeah, Gamrot. Oh, Gamrot's a beast. And the former Brazilian champ named Vicky beat a random. Cool, man. Good for you, dude. Yeah, I might get into that. Try that out. I love MMA and I like watching the fights. So maybe I'll play around with that one day. Try it out in one of the apps that's floating around. Just, you know, I'll be doing kind of chump change at first because I don't want to get fucking just steamed over, lose all my cash. All right. Well, I think we're gonna get out of here. I gotta eat. As you can see, we got some avocado and some hamburger. So we gotta chomp it up, and then we do need to do probably some Halloween decorations. It's getting close, man. It's getting really close. So yes, anti-sagging GPU brackets, I say they're a go. I think they're a good idea, even on smaller cards like this 57. I think that's a good idea. That's a good idea. And depending on whether or not my fans fit, I may switch to this cylinder one. This one's pretty neat though. It kind of... Oh, camera, come back to me. Okay. Camera didn't like I got too close. I can't let you get close, the camera said. When you join most apps, they give you a big sign-up bonus so you can start for free. That's true, I have been seeing that, and they've almost tempted me a couple times. So I guess I'll have fun with that first one. Alright, sorry. I was trying to mute up so I can munch on this food. But everybody take care. Have a good one. Thanks for coming by, Tasteful. Appreciate you, Gamer. Again, sorry I might not be able to mess with the file you sent. I'll look at it as soon as I can. May, thanks for hanging out. Swiss, Saya, if you're out there. Who else came by? We had some follows. Appreciate all the follows. Appreciate the lurkers. People came by just to check on me, make sure that I was still alive, still breathing, still talking to myself. Appreciate it, definitely. You're always welcome. Yeah. Hopefully I didn't leave anybody out. Van was here for a brief moment. Thank you, Van. Ginger, letting us use the account. Thank you, Ginger. Appreciate that. Yep. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Ciao for now. God bless.
Imagine that.
Later, man. Oh, and Tasteful, wish me luck, man. Hopefully I hit it big. I'm gonna, if I do one of the sign up bonuses, maybe I just go all in on one bet, man, and maybe I can just land me a good one. Then I go out for the weekend. All right, later, everybody. Ciao. Yo, let's go. Thank you. Appreciate that, Tasteful. Like I said, we might be back tomorrow if obligations don't get in the way, because we do have a few things to do here in the Jones household. But otherwise, we might be live again tomorrow. If not, sporadically through the week I go live. So we'll see you, man. We shall see you. Thanks a lot. We'll catch you later.